National Trade Places with Your Daughter Day, celebrated every November 1st, is a lighthearted holiday where fathers spend the day living like their daughters, copying their style, their slang, their routines, even their favorite hangouts. The idea is simple. Step into your kids' shoes for 24 hours and maybe come away understanding them a little better. It usually plays out in a few predictable ways. Dress the part. Dads borrow outfits from their daughters' closets, or buy their own versions, trying to match the look as closely as they can, makeup included. Talk the talk. Fathers attempt the current slang badly, peppering conversations with whatever phrases their kids use, and firing off memes in the group chat. Live the routine. For one day, dads scroll the same apps, watch the same shows, and blast the same playlists their daughters do. Try the hobbies. Maybe it's a TikTok dance. Maybe it's a trip to the same cafe or mall their daughter treats like a second home. Talk it out. By evening, the goal is usually a real conversation. Dads walk away with a little more appreciation for what their daughters navigate every day, and daughters get to see their fathers looking, for once, completely ridiculous and completely game. It's supposed to be silly. It's supposed to build a little empathy. What it's not supposed to do is end in a clothing store at 9 at night with two 40-something men debating the merits of platform heels. But here we are. Marcus spotted Dwight across the department store first, doing a full double take at the crimson wrap dress and the walk that went with it. Dwight noticed Marcus at almost the same moment, eyes catching on the lavender cardigan and skirt combination. Both men broke into grins and closed the distance between them. Marcus, that dress is incredible. You are absolutely serving today. Dwight laughed. Thanks, man. And look at you, lavender cardigan, matching skirt, full chic mom energy. You're taking this trade places thing way more seriously than I did. Can I ask you something? Go for it. You wearing underwear under that? Dwight snorted. Obviously. What kind of question is that? Same here. I'll be honest, I did not expect to be standing in a department store in a skirt today, and yet, here I am, kind of into it. Right? Dwight said. It's funny, but also, I get it now. I get why my daughter takes 45 minutes to get dressed. These fabrics are nice. Exactly. I used to give my daughter grief about how long she took to pick an outfit. Now I understand. There's a whole ecosystem here. The dress, then the shoes, then figuring out what jewelry actually works with it. Dwight nodded enthusiastically. This holiday might be my new favorite. Who knew impersonating your kid would be this fun? Right? It doesn't even feel like a bit anymore. I actually feel kind of fierce in this dress. You do look fierce, Dwight said. Speaking of leaning in, what if we went all the way tonight? Like out, a club. Marcus laughed. Clubbing? In this? That's a whole different level. We're already halfway there, Dwight said. Might as well commit. But if we're doing this, we need better outfits than department store casual. We need statement pieces. I'm in, Marcus said, grinning. Let's find something that says we own this dance floor. They spent the next 2 hours working through the racks, sequin dresses, jumpsuits with more shine than sense, heels that could double as weapons. Every fitting room trip came with commentary and laughter. Dwight held up a silver sequin jumpsuit like a trophy. If we're going big, we go big. What do you think? That, Marcus said, is a power move. Okay, I think we're set. Check out, then the club. We're forgetting something, Dwight said. What? Shoes. Real shoes, not department store shoes. They crossed the parking lot to a shoe store, where Marcus picked out silver platform heels with a strap that caught the light every time he moved, and Dwight settled on sleek metallic ankle boots with a lower heel. For stamina, he claimed. With their bags in hand, they made plans to reconvene later that night, both fully committed now to whatever this was becoming. Denise stood in front of Dwight, hands on her hips, appraising his outfit with the critical eye of someone who took this seriously. He'd landed on a one-shoulder crimson mini dress for the club, bold in a way that would have made him blush a year ago. You look great, Dwight. Genuinely. But we need to talk accessories if you want to survive a dance floor. Dwight grinned, nervous but game. I'm in your hands. Denise laughed and dug through her jewelry box until she surfaced a pair of gold drop earrings, small crystals catching the light. These'll flash under club lighting, and they'll elongate your neck. Trust the process. Next came a slim gold cuff for his wrist. Keep it simple here. The dress is already doing the talking. He slid the earrings and cuff on, feeling something shift a little with each addition. Denise moved on to his shoes, nodding approval. Good call on the strappy heels. Sexy, but you can actually dance in them. That matters more than people think. Then came the part Dwight had been dreading, makeup. Smoky eye, some contour, deep berry lip to match the dress, Denise said, already reaching for her kit. Sultry, not overdone. She worked in silence for a while, blending foundation, dusting blush along his cheekbones, building the eyeshadow up in careful layers. When she finally handed him the mirror, Dwight barely recognized his own reflection, and not in a bad way. Wow, he said. I didn't know I could look like this. Before you go, Denise said, quick tutorial. Blot the lipstick like this, don't rub it. Powder your nose if you start to shine, and if the eyeshadow smudges, just blend it back in with your finger. You'll be fine all night. She handed him a small clutch, lipstick, compact, tissues. You've got this. Thanks, Denise. Seriously. Lifesaver. Go have fun, honey. He gave her a grateful smile on his way out. Denise watched the door close behind him, quietly proud, already sure her husband was about to have a better night than he expected. The second the door shut, their daughter Reagan came thundering down the stairs, arms crossed, expression somewhere between fury and disbelief. Mom. What just happened? Did you seriously just help Dad get ready to go clubbing in my favorite dress? Denise, mid-cleanup, turned around with a knowing smile. It's Trade Places Day, sweetheart. Your dad wanted to have some fun. And for the record, he bought that dress today. It's not yours. Reagan threw her hands up. Fun? He's going to a club in a dress, Mom. My friends could be there. I will never live this down. You don't even know which club he's going to. Exactly. Which one? I need to know so I can avoid it at all costs. This is a nightmare, Mom. I'm going to be the girl whose dad goes clubbing dressed like her. Denise fought back a laugh. Honestly, I don't know which one either. He and Marcus didn't say. Reagan's eyes went wide with horror and she grabbed her phone, scrolling frantically through group chats. Great. Now I have to send out a mass warning to avoid anywhere remotely popular tonight. If someone posts a picture, I'm finished. Denise chuckled, watching her daughter pace. Reagan, he's not trying to embarrass you. It's one night. No one's going to think less of you over it. Mom, you don't get it. This isn't cute. This is Dad in a club in heels. It's not even about what people think. I'm just scarred. Denise patted her shoulder gently. You'll survive. You might even laugh about it eventually. Doubt it, Reagan muttered, flopping onto the couch, phone in hand like it might produce a solution. Seriously doubt it. As Reagan fired off warning texts, Denise went back to tidying her vanity, quietly certain Dwight was about to have the time of his life, and equally certain Reagan would come around eventually. The club hit them like a wall the second they walked in, bass thudding up through the floor and into their chests, lights strobing off mirrored surfaces, the whole room a blur of motion and noise. Dwight in his crimson dress and Marcus in his sequin jumpsuit stood just inside the entrance for a second, taking it in. This place is wild, Dwight shouted over the music. I feel 25 again. They pushed toward the dance floor, where the DJ had the room locked into a pop EDM mix built for exactly this kind of chaos. At first they were stiff, overthinking every movement. A few songs in, though, something loosened, and they found a rhythm, twirling, laughing, throwing out half-remembered moves from decades earlier. Every so often they'd catch each other's eye and crack up completely, aware of exactly how they looked. Two grown men in their daughter's aesthetic, dancing like it was prom night all over again. I can't believe we're doing this, Marcus yelled. We look ridiculous, right? Completely, Dwight yelled back. Don't care. Best night in years. They took breaks for neon-colored drinks, fielded compliments from strangers, and fully committed to the bit, dancing with people their daughter's age at one point, unbothered even during an unexpected slow song. By the end of the night their feet were wrecked, their outfits wrinkled beyond saving, Glitter migrating to places glitter had no business being. None of it mattered. Outside, the cool air hit their flushed faces, and Marcus let out a happy groan. I don't think I've danced that hard in a decade. My feet are dying, Dwight said, but completely worth it. They laughed at the sheer absurdity of the whole night before splitting off toward their cars. What's your wife going to say? Marcus asked. Probably asleep already, Dwight said. See you next year, though I might skip the thong next time. Marcus didn't mention that he hadn't worn anything at all. Both men shuffled into their respective houses well past midnight, feet aching, outfits a wrinkled mess, wearing the unmistakable look of men who'd had a great time and were about to pay for it. Dwight's wife, Denise, was waiting in the living room, arms crossed, foot tapping against the hardwood. Dwight Marcus Ellison, it is nearly 2 a.m. You come stumbling in here like it's prom night. Do you understand what time it is? Dwight blinked, tugging self-consciously at the strap of his rumpled crimson dress. Time kind of got away from us. You didn't even text. I was worried. And look at those shoes. You can barely walk in them. He glanced down at his scuffed silver platforms and winced as his toes throbbed in protest. Get out of that dress and into bed before you do more damage to your feet, Denise said. We are having a serious conversation tomorrow about age-appropriate bedtimes. Dwight nodded, sheepish, feeling every bit the teenager caught sneaking in past curfew. Across town, Marcus wasn't faring any better. His wife, Priya, stood in the kitchen, arms folded, unimpressed. Where have you been? Do you know what time it is? I know, we got carried away. The club was. Carried away in that? You're lucky you didn't break an ankle in those heels. And that jumpsuit is destroyed. Marcus looked down at the crumpled, glitter-dusted sequined mess and grimaced. You are acting like a teenager who's never been out before, Priya said. You cannot party like this all night at your age. You're going to feel it in the morning. Marcus sighed, rubbing his sore legs. Next year I'm setting a curfew before we even leave the house. Yeah, Priya said, though there was a flicker of amusement underneath the sternness. Both men exchanged tired, grateful smiles with their wives and retreated to bed, nursing their feet, already knowing the memory of the night. The lights, the laughter, the sheer sequined absurdity of it had been worth every bit of the scolding. The next morning, Dwight sat at the kitchen table nursing coffee, feet aching, hair still holding traces of the previous night's styling. Despite the exhaustion, he couldn't wipe the grin off his face. Trade Places Day had turned out to be far more fun than he'd bargained for. Reagan shuffled in, still half asleep and clearly still annoyed, and sat across from him without a word, pouring cereal with exaggerated focus. Morning, sweetheart. Sleep okay? She shrugged, eyes on her bowl. Dwight tried to lighten the mood.
You should have seen me last night.
Danced like I was 20 again. Whole club was electric. Your old man still got moves. Reagan rolled her eyes. I'm sure, Dad. I don't need the details. He chuckled, thinking back. Actually, there was this one guy I danced with, super friendly, tall, sharp jawline, great hair. Reminded me of someone. What was his name? Evan? No, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor. Reagan froze mid-bite, eyes snapping up.
Wait.
Trevor? Trevor Voss. Dwight tilted his head. I think that's what he said. Nice guy, bought me a drink. We danced a bit.
Why?
Reagan's face went through shock, horror, and mortification in rapid succession.
Dad.
Trevor Voss is the guy I like. Dwight's eyes went wide as the realization landed, but before he could get another word out, Reagan was already up, cereal abandoned, bolting up the stairs. Her door slammed a second later. Dwight sat in stunned silence, trying to process what had just happened. He rubbed his forehead. How do I get myself into these things? Denise walked in a moment later, having heard the door slam, and found Dwight looking thoroughly rattled. What happened? I heard Reagan storm off like a hurricane. Dwight sighed. So, I may have accidentally danced with Trevor Voss last night. As in, Reagan's crushed Trevor Voss. And now she's spiraling. Denise's eyes widened before she burst out laughing, hand over her mouth. You dance with Trevor? Oh, She's going to be mortified. It was one dance, okay, a few dances including a slow one. I had no idea who he was until she told me. Denise raised her eyebrows, fighting a grin.
Dwight.
I didn't know, he said, hands up defensively. Can you please go smooth things over? You're way better at this than me. Denise shook her head, amused despite herself, and headed for the stairs. You owe me. Big time. Thank you, Dwight called after her. Seriously, I am not ready to be disowned. Meanwhile, across town, Marcus's phone buzzed with a name he half expected. He picked up anyway. Hey, Trevor. What's up? Trevor's voice came through smooth, casual. Hey, Marcus. I had a really great time the other night. What do you say we grab dinner sometime, just us? Marcus tensed. He liked Trevor fine as a person, but not like that, and there was also the small matter of his own daughter clearly having feelings for the guy. Trevor, I had fun too, but I don't think that's a good idea. I'm flattered, genuinely, but I have to pass. A pause. I see. No hard feelings. Maybe another time. Marcus exhaled in relief once the call ended, certain that was the end of it. 10 minutes later, his phone buzzed again, except this time it wasn't for him. It was his daughter's ringtone, and a moment later, he heard her voice in the hallway, laughing mid-conversation. A name floated through the air. Oh, hey Trevor, what a surprise. Marcus froze, dread pooling in his stomach. Trevor was calling his daughter, minutes after asking him out. He strained to catch more of the conversation but couldn't make out details. After a stretch of nervous waiting, his daughter Simone came into the living room glowing. Guess who just called me? Trevor. He wants to hang out this weekend. Isn't that great? Marcus's stomach sank. He knew exactly what he had to do, and he knew there was no version of this conversation that wasn't excruciating. Sweetheart, about 10 minutes ago, I got a call from Trevor. Trevor. Yeah. He asked me out. Simone blinked. He asked you out? He asked my dad out. I don't think he realizes I'm your dad, Marcus said carefully. But if he's asking out a middle-aged man he met at a club in a jumpsuit, I don't think you should see him. You're making this up. I'm really not. He pulled up the call log and showed her. Simone's eyes filled with tears. I don't believe this. I'm sorry. I'm calling him right now to tell him it's off, and I'm going to let him have it. I have a better idea, Marcus said. Call him. Tell him your dad's being difficult and that he shouldn't come to the house, that you'll meet him down the street instead. I'm not going out with him. I don't want to see him again. You won't have to, Marcus said. I'll go instead. I'll handle it. Trevor arrived on time for what he thought was his date with Simone, but she was nowhere in sight. He waited, checking his phone, until Dwight approached, dressed in an emerald-sheath dress and heels from a shopping trip that suddenly felt like a lifetime ago. Hey, I know you. We met at the club. Trevor didn't place him immediately. Oh, hey. I'm actually waiting on someone. Funny, Dwight said. So am I. Before Trevor could puzzle that out further, Marcus arrived, dressed in a deep violet halter dress with a wide-brimmed hat pulled low over his face. There's my friend, Dwight said. As Trevor turned to see who it was, the conversation shifted fast. Marcus stepped in close, voice low and hard in a way it hadn't been all week. I'm going to make this simple, Marcus said. You called my daughter 10 minutes after asking her father out. You will not see her again. You will not call her again. If you so much as walk down this street again, you and I are going to have a much less polite conversation than this one. Trevor's bravado evaporated fast, replaced by wide-eyed alarm as both men closed in on either side of him. Words came out fast, apologies, promises, a stammered claim that he hadn't meant any harm, and Marcus let the silence stretch a beat longer than comfortable before finally stepping back. Go home, Trevor, Marcus said, and lose her number. Trevor didn't need telling twice. He was gone within the minute, glancing back once before disappearing around the corner. Dwight let out a breath. You didn't need the hat, by the way. Very dramatic. It added something, Marcus said, and for the first time all evening, allowed himself a small, satisfied smile.